a identification for, okay, level 6 to level 9, this is the lane to be looking towards. We really want to get pressure on this lane so that when we hit mid game properly, this is a champion who's ahead, who has kill threat on the enemy team, and in turn that pays off dividends.
And I mean, that's going to come through Dicey as well, right? We talked about wanting to see them on one of these roaming engaged supports, and the Nautilus can do exactly that. So hopefully we can see that sort of mid support, possibly pairing up with Swamp as well in the jungle, get that synergy, get those map movements down. Because I feel like that's really where you need to attack DFM. It's in that early game. It's when your composition has that strength, and not give time for the Tryndamere, for the Jinx to scale and really get online.
Finally, just thinking about this top side real quick, because we did see the Sejuani. Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday. It was yesterday,
okay.
Oak.
Brilliant, fantastic. I was thinking, did Toltu play a Samira top game? Am I going crazy?
I think you are going crazy. Just okay. A Draven top game. Come on, nice and standard. But we are now on to the Rift. DFM on the blue side here. AXIZ on the red. If AXIZ want to keep their playoff hopes alive, we mustn't forget that they need to win here today. But that first step on the road is a pretty darn difficult one to step over. Looking at the rune stat, interesting to see Megaman actually opting towards the Airy on this Syndra.
You do Airy in tandem with Cookies and Time Warp Tonic to basically repeatedly poke in the lane. It's the way Syndras play nowadays. Electrocute is gone. It's Airy Kingdom now. Now, I like this little mini meta that's formed in the bot side. People have started warding this center brush to make sure that they can't get cheese level 1. Well, actually, Sangchu and Dicey know this is happening. They use that retro kit to get solo XP on Sangchu. And
oh, Ebby trying to gank Swamp in his jungle, but he didn't expect Toltu to be here. Will just spinning slash away, but this does mean that the Hecarim can secure his own red buff, and Ebby is going to be delayed getting to top side.
Just a little bit. In the meantime, Steel is happy to take the camp solo. Zinzal's definitely having a fairly healthy clear. I won't worry about too much, but Evie actually misses the first 3 minions of XP. This is very, very big if Toltu can set up for some continual trades, because Tryndamere does suffer in the early game, especially if you can dissuade him from building his rage up and stop him from healing back up.
I think if Toltu is able to secure that early level 2, maybe he can have some kill threat. Is running the Ignite as well, and probably understands this matchup a little bit better than Ebby. Ebby's a guy that has been around, but I can't imagine he's played too much Tryndamere versus Sejuani.
Yeah, maybe not. And Sejuani has some unique trading tools. Sejuani has some unique trading tools which really benefit her in a solo lane. You get access to repeated usages of that stun, as well as the W, which you're seeing there, which is that 2 flay and then the poke tool. And these can actually be really impactful tools if you're able to get the complete stun off to get some little bit max HP damage and burst out as a big chunk comes in.
Ooh, but responded to in kind by Megaman. Mid lane going fairly evenly so far. Slight shove advantage secured by Megaman, as Toltu is once again being aggressive in the top side, really flexing his knowledge of this matchup, as we see on the minimap. Both junglers pathing towards the bottom side of the map, recognizing that that's where a lot of these engage tools are. That's where a lot of the damage is, as Toltu going under the tower, but he gets minion blocked. Oh, Ebby goes, flashes forward, but the level up will keep Toltu alive for a second longer. It's not gonna matter. That is so unlucky, dude.
And look at the wave as well. Not only does Ebby find the solo kill through turret, the minions absolutely PayPal'd by the enemy team. Ebby gets to keep this freeze as well. He did burn both summoners, and it means that Sejuani is going to have TP in response. But look here, so he's really fishing to get the 4-point stack on his E passive and then walk up and get the auto. It gives you bonus damage, but Toltu takes the first turret shot, tries to path back, and the minions he ends up guided around them, takes a second one. And it really suddenly, this lane is on its head a little bit.
It was his own minion wave, Oak. It wasn't even like it was the enemy minions doing their duty. There was some like double agent shenanigans occurring there, and Ebby is going to be the beneficiary of it. And that really sucks, because whilst Sejuani, definitely not a carry for Toltu, was doing very, very well in that lane. Clearly something that the guy was happy playing into this trend a bit, but now, like you said, in a little bit of that deficit, Swamp is going to try and even this matchup up a little bit, but has been spotted out, and Ebby will stay just out of danger.
It looks like AXIZ and Toltu are just going to go for an easy shove here because Ebby is essentially locked into this lane right now. No TP available, which means so long as they can keep these waves shoving, it gives free access for Swamp to move up to top side.
But he needs to be careful of Steel. The Xin Zhao has a lot of early power, and if you're engaging under the tower, it's going to be bad for you. Megamin flashing forward, but not before Ebby will pick up the first kill. Traded back, and now Swamp will charge down the Xin Zhao under the tower. Takes a tower shot for his troubles, but stays alive. And Megamin also gets out. Slithers of HP, but AXIZ make the play happen.
Fantastic proactivity from AXIZ, and Yaharong wasn't really on the response side. So an ultimate 3v2, 2 kills go onto the Syndra, which we love to see when you're locking in this champion. And it was off the back of Toltu getting some really aggressive trading and constantly keeping these wave shots and really punishing Trinity mid before he gets his level 6. Now look at this. Megamin is on the ball to know that through this dive, potentially Steel could be in top side. They know he started there. So in return, they get to shove Megamin top here, and even though Toltu dies, fantastic scatter of the week comes in, and they toggled the tower aggro so well here. Swamp takes one turret here. Megamin is playing on knife's edge here, and right at the end here, Time Up Tonic and a cookie to come in and gets that corruption pot as well to really get that healing come in just at the last second.
And you touched on it there, the cookies and the Time Up Tonic, a combination, a rune set up in the mid lane that has been much maligned, but definitely saved Megamin's life there, and that could be pivotal in a matchup versus DFM, where every single advantage that you give up is something that they will exploit. So good stuff to see from AXIZ as we are 6.5 minutes into this game, even on the kills, even on the gold. It's looking pretty good so far.
Absolutely. I mean, we are seeing 2 kills in return. The gold lead is fairly even, but just that little thing could be such a good point for this team to snowball, because remember, since 2 kills, spell pen boots already picked up, and Yaharong's overextended.
We could have
Maybe
some
not.
action brewing as Ebby has roamed down from the top lane. Charm has already been used as 2 charges of the Spirit Rush have also been laid down. Megamin is going to be the focus here, just waiting on that CC. Ebby is ghosting, going under the tower. There it goes. The wind become lightning, will deal some damage in the auto attacks to finish it off.
DFM, they understood what was going on. They have an immediate plans to handle this mid lane threat that suddenly approached. And Ebby, with a rotation with the rest of the team, picks up Megamin and hopefully leads him towards his first Drake as well. Fantastic response there, and really kind of off the back of a very minor misplay from AXIZ. They stepped into enemy vision in this bot river, and DFM were very quick to go, oh, no, you can't be doing that. Sorry, we have our ultimates. We have all this chase down available, Ghost on the Trinity, and it all comes out all at once. And it looks like now we're going to get a little bit of a replay of Ebby and how he passed. So he gets his wave shove, and we see here, look at where Swamp is, and we see Steel and, Swamp and Megamin path down. Yaharong's like, no, you can't do that, sorry. Got Ebby on my side, and they run it down here. Now, big thing here is when you watch Megamin here, the scatter of the week comes out, he can only hit one target, and he messes up the combination. You normally can get that max range scatter of the week into the Dark Sphere to get a really extended CC combination. He doesn't get it, and in return gets picked off for it.
Yeah, if that's a stun, you live there. But it wasn't, and you ended up dying. And we already said, DFM, every mistake you make, every advantage that you give over is something that they will exploit. And Ebby stealing away that red buff is going to mean that there's a hell of a lot more damage that he can put down onto Toltu's head. The sustain that you're going to get as well will make the trades even better for you. So I'm just chilling in this pixel brush here, but he needs to be careful as Harp, Steel, and the gang are on their way over. 8.5 minutes, and this Drake hasn't really been focused as of yet.
Absolutely. I'm surprised to see Syndra suddenly not really doing much. I was hoping that as soon as this level 6 was unlocked, Dicey and Swamp would be moving into the mid lane, and so far we've seen actually DFM handle it really well with vision. They've had repeated vision around this bot side, which has really limited Dicey's rotations, and because of this wave shove coming from Jinx repeatedly, remember Rockets after level 4, doesn't really make the difference, and that in turn has led to Utapon just shoving in every wave. Dicey really hasn't had the chance to leave, and look at that, a single charm, half HP. Is really important that you play aggressively into this lane, otherwise that's kind of happen, because even with Merc Treads, Ari still hits very, very hard.
You only need to hit one of those charms and it makes sort of the repeated trade easier. And you see Mega Man has had to chug through a couple of those corrupting potion stacks to get up to a reasonable amount of HP, but still doesn't have too much mana. AXIZ, this will be a very bold contest as Yaharong will flash forward, gets the charm, gets the damage, gets the kill. Swamp will now be forced to run away, will smite down the Herald, but can't pick it up because he didn't even get it. Double kill for the Ari in the mid lane as Toltu is fighting up with Ebby in the top side. And it's a kill for the Trendemir. DFM really turning the screws now.
Absolutely. Suddenly a 2k lead has emerged from this, and remember, you just mentioned it, but Herald was not in fact picked up by AXIZ. That's going over to Steel's side, and he's immediately going to look towards the rest of his lanes as well as the enemy jungle. Go, okay, what can I take away, and what potential first turret can I be looking towards? Because almost 2 plates picked up on top side, a plate already unlocked in bot as the killer instinct comes out, and half is destroyed. What? Okay. Well, rest in peace, Harp.
I didn't think we were at that point in the game where Akathia Rain was just one-shotting people, but apparently it's the case. Yudabon now being chased down by Sangchu. Doesn't have the killer instinct, so can't follow with too much damage, but still has the flash if he wants to go for something a little bit dangerous. AXIZ down, but definitely not out.
Yeah, Sangchu's specific itemization here, so we're going to get a replay on the top side, so we'll talk about this first. This flash charm was pivotal for the success for DFM to find this fight. Shuts down this Syndra. Remember, the 2 major kills that came across in the early game, they're on that Syndra. You kill her first, and you lose that 600 gold bonus of combat stats. And at the same time, Ebby he doesn't want this champion to do well. He's very unhappy with the situation, as he's one's going to get the Super Mega Death Rocket just to disrupt this reset from Sangchu. I don't know how.
Okay, that was blind. That was blind. It's just
completely blind.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when I see the observers highlighting a Super Mega Death Rocket, I'm like, all right, we're either stealing an objective or we're killing someone. Interrupting a recall is cool, is nice, is BM, but it's not what you need to be doing. As told to interrupts Ebby's recall. Again, very, very rude to do. We don't need to highlight this, Ebby. I feel like you're just going to get your recall interrupted again if you stand there, buddy. But Toltu chooses not to do it. And I love what DFM have been doing. You said Megamin did get those kills in the early game. They go, okay, this is the threat. This is where we're going to index a lot of our pressure. And he hasn't really been able to impact the map aside from that. Sangchu now getting poked under tower. Swamp on vision as Steel is catching up Megamin in the mid lane. Yaharong ulting forward, gets the damage down, and it's just too easy.
She's dead before the charm comes out. I don't know what to say, Middlecott.
I have to say something. Might be saying a eulogy for Yaharong here, as Toltu will be able to secure the stun, but not before the charm comes out onto Swamp, who will use that onslaught of shadows, but is just going to die before it even connects. Yudabon gets eaten up as Sangchu is fighting in the bot side. We're looking top for a moment. And as soon as we flash back to mid, flash back to bot, kills being traded all over the place, and now we're engaged in supportal combat. Dicey hooks himself out of there across the map. Lots of kills going down, but DFM favored.
Okay, many things have happened right now. The big thing is that Ebby has decided not to rotate. Instead, he's leaving his team to find the 5v4 as Dicey's found the bot side. This looks like it's going to be a pick off. I don't know if Dicey has the flash available. I feel so bad for him. My heart burns for you, Dicey. I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, we're gonna get the replay coming on this bot side play, so it's nice to see how this was found in complete cohesion. I think we see Yutapon playing the wave slow because he doesn't want to over aggress. At the same time, Harp tries to find the flank, and Jinx ends up left alone with Sangchu. Remember, Sangchu's itemization is very kill orientated right now, and even with that depth charge being picked up by Harp for using that ultimate, disrupted. I'm just still so behind.
Oh no, Sangchu. Oh dear, this is bad. Actually gets the kill onto Yutapon. No killer instinct available, so I think we'll be going down in the end. But this bot lane has been a bright spot for AXIZ as Ebby with a little bit of helicopter action there. Not too sure about that.
Oh dear, yes. He does get alpha free, and at the same time as seeing how this Kai'Sa has suddenly emerged as one of the more prominent bot lane and mid lane threats as well. Versatility is the name of the game, and Sangchu's definitely opting towards early pressure. He skipped the tier entirely. He's also picked up a serrated Dirk as well to get the earliest Q evolvers. I mean, Yaharong's moving to topside too, so Toltu might think he's safe, but Ebby and Yaharong have so much rundown. The Ghost is available from Ebby as well.
Yeah, that Glacial Prism will buy but a moment for Toltu. Over aggressive in the top side once again. 0-5 on the Sejuani top, not working out for the second game in a row.
Another Spirit Rush and another Charm comes out. And
Yaharong, you can't just do that. Throws forward the damage. Harp lands the knock up from Fog of War. And secures himself another kill. AXIZ, they don't really have anywhere that's safe to play anymore. As Steel is flashing forward under tower to try and take down Dicey. Won't end up getting it in the end, but there's just nowhere on the map that AXIZ can stand.
And I think Harp and Steel immediately look towards this bot lane. They set up a freeze, so Sangchu is very, very stuck under this bot turret. They had the wave shove. Remember, Dicey's on reset. They get the dive coming in.
Killer Instinct's away and actually buys himself a second of time, but the spit back out directly into his face. Still gets the kill. Harp gets another one. Well played, but ultimately doesn't mean too much for AXIZ. Mid lane tower is going to fall, as the bot lane tower will fall as well. And DFM, I feel like they're just playing with their food. It seems that they can make plays with impunity.
Yeah, I think it was really through this draft, right? There was no real answer made to the Tryndamere. Whilst they seemed to find a little bit of solo lane pressure through the Syndra, through the Kai'Sa as well, through the bot side, Swamp could never really play through it with completion. In return, this Tryndamere going unanswered in draft means DFM get to play exactly what they want. Heavy skirmishes with split push pressure in the top side, and fantastic itemization from the Tryndamere, specifically opting in towards a Hullbreaker instead of the first mythic, instead of looking towards a Gale Force or a Kraken Slayer, is best against these tanks. Just gives you a ball of stats which you can throw at the enemy player, which is really important because early itemization like steel-plated toe caps or the Bramble Vest, if it were to come out, really limit those aggressive trading options. But picking up this Hellbreaker instead means Ebby kind of gets to play the game for ease. He's looking for a 1v2.
Definitely the sort of player that could make it happen. I mean, you say,
yes.
Talking about not having a mythic, does now have that Gale Force, which gives you a fair bit of target access. Megamin just throwing him back with a Scatter of the Week there, but you can already see how scary this Tryndamere can be. Ghost popped as well. Ebby was actually really looking for that one.
He really wanted that kill because it would have been very, very quick to set up for this remaining tier 2 on the bot side, as well as maybe give the team pressure to play for a potential win here. Remember, this bot lane tier 2 is the only tier 2 remaining on the map now. DFM have picked up a lot of standing gold.
Yeah, Harong making a little bit of an aggressive play in the enemy jungle. Unleash Power will take him out. That's a kill at the very least.
1,000 gold bounty as well, as they're looking for the return kill in boss side.
But Toltu's used that Glacial Prism to lock down Ebby and buy himself crucial seconds, but can he outlast the undying rage? No, he cannot, is the answer, as Steel is waiting around in the jungle for Sangchu. But this is a 1v3, buddy. Are you sure that you win that? I mean, perhaps you do. The more of the man Mortius procced, and it's not quite enough, but the splash from the Super Mega Death Rocket will take out the Kai'Sa, and now AXIZ are trapped in their own jungle. They're in a fist fight. They're in an engagement that they just can't win. Swamp flashed on, taken out. Megamin 2. This is disastrous for AXIZ, and DFM claim the spoils.
God, the way DFM navigated that secondary fight there was oh so good. You pump all the way around this top side with that turret being taken. It means he gets to regroup with his team. Ebby buying so much time in return means they get 4 kills on the board, and immediately bot lane tier 2 unlocks. Now they get the inhibitor turret as well, and they are snowballing through this game oh so quickly. 2 items across the board for DFM for the most part, but mythics, I mean, Nautilus still isn't on his mythic yet.
Yeah, this is kind of what a 12k Goldie looks like 18 minutes into the game. Toltu opting into this 1v1, but you don't win that, buddy. I know you're a tank, but you were also 0-6 when you took that, so maybe not as tanky as you would like.
I don't know what you mean. I feel like steel-plated toe caps have so much utility against an Ahri.
I think that's a true Sinner build. Like, you could talk about Everfrost maybe not being optimal in certain scenarios, but if the plated steel caps are getting proper good value, you have to throw some mixing pings on your Ahri's itemization at that point.
Anyway, I liked what AXIZ drafted into. I was really eager to see them find success here. You know what I would have loved instead of the Syndra? The
What?
Veigar. It was hovered for a second, and whilst it does struggle into this Jinx, imagine the amount of mid-game pressure they would have had with Baby Cage into all the dive coming in from DFM. I think some adaptability from these mid laners would be oh so good, because this Syndra is such a pressure point around that level 6 level 9 point, but they never really decided to hit the trigger. They didn't really aggress into this mid lane, and Yaharong by and large was the aggressor into the Syndra instead, and I think they really ended up bleeding for it, and it's showing here now as look at the damage coming onto Toll 2.
Yeah, that's your tank, by the way, not looking particularly tanky as Swamp, diving into the backside but not able to find too much. The Everfrost onto 3! Yaharong, that was beautiful, and that triple is yours to claim. Misses the flash shot, but he's not going to care too much about that one as 3 members in the death chamber. I think that DFM are just going to go for the win.
Some say Ludens is the best mythic on the Ahri. I love a good Everfrost. Somebody should clip that and send that to Nymera, because what a highlight game for Yaharong. Really, really impressive play. Constant proactiveness coming up from him and the rest of his team to secure a very, very early win as we get the Dancing Herald as well. Fantastic from DFM.